Hello and welcome back to the Unnamed Podcast. We're finally back.
Back from hiatus. It's been a little bit.
I'm Michael.
I'm Tyler.
And I think we're just going to jump right into which teams are legit in the NFL. Because we've been gone for 2 weeks, so there's some new contenders and stuff.
Yeah. I think number one, we got to... I guess we're asking the question for each of these teams. Are the Lions legit?
I think they are. They've looked good in every game. I mean, they did tie with Arizona.
Yeah.
But they were leading for most of that game.
And, I think it does take a few weeks into the season to really figure things out, for teams to figure things out. And I think legit is a strong word for the Lions because I don't think they're the type of team that could win a playoff game. But I think that they're the type of team that could be, 9-6 at the end of the year and find a way to sneak in, or win or beat some good teams in some primetime games or something like that. Yeah,
I mean the way they played against Kansas City, I mean they were hurt everywhere in the secondary, and their secondary still looked great.
Yeah,
they have a good offense. I think Galladay is really finding his way.
Yeah,
he had 3 touchdown catches, but 1 got called back, so he had 2, and he just looked great. They had a bye last week, so coming into this week, they got all this preparation. I think they're going to win.
Honestly, I think they might suffer from having that early bye, because they seem like the kind of team that would benefit more from a later bye, just because they've been pretty solid outside of the tie. And even it's not like they looked terrible in that game either. They pretty much controlled that game until the fourth quarter.
I think they're a good team.
I think
Patricia looks like he's got the defense down now, and the offense it's not stale. It's a solid offense.
I think whenever the Bears, do you know what week the Bears and Lions play each other?
I don't.
That's going to be a really, really interesting game.
Could be a really boring game.
Potentially, but you know what? Maybe by then Trubisky will figure something out.
We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Next team.
You want to go Niners or Colts?
Let's talk about the Niners.
Niners, are they legit? Yes.
I don't think so yet.
They're 95% legit.
I need them to beat a good team to prove to me that they're legit. I don't think the Browns are a team that you can consider.
Who lost that game for the Browns?
Baker, Freddie Kitchens, bad play call. He's not a good coach.
I guess it's a matter of, are the Niners beating teams?
Or teams beating themselves?
Right.
I feel like Tampa definitely beat themselves when they played the Niners.
Yeah. Look at they beat Tampa and then
Cincy.
And
the Steelers.
And then bye week and then
so Cleveland. they've played 3 NFC or AFC teams already.
Yeah.
And they beat all of them. But that might be the worst division in football right now.
Yeah.
The AFC North. It's terrible. They're 3-11 outside their own division. And those 3 wins are against Miami, New York, and another bad team.
Right. The Niners got the Rams coming up.
That's an interesting game because you also don't know if the Rams are good.
Right. The Goff situation is like, all right, he's looking like Jeff Fisher, Jared Goff right now.
That's because Todd Gurley's looking like Jeff Fisher, Todd Gurley.
Right.
But the Niners, I need them. If they beat the Rams convincing, like they play a solid game, they beat the Rams.
Yeah.
I'll say they're legit, but right now, I think they've beat 4 bad teams, below average teams.
Granted, they dominated Cincy and they dominated Cleveland.
They did dominate.
I'll give that to them.
They did. I mean, they were that was like a college atmosphere to that game. Like, they came out, they wanted to prove a point to the Browns.
Yeah.
And the Browns are going to have that a lot because Baker Mayfield just doesn't shut up.
Right.
Like, they'll lose, and he's like, oh, good, everyone's hating on us. And then they'll beat, like, the Jets.
Right.
He's like, oh, where are all the haters
now?
now?
Back, yeah. Odell has one big play, and suddenly he's Odell again. Mm-hmm. Have you heard the little bit of Odell trade rumors?
No, I haven't.
There's, like, a little bit of... And I think it spawned... I think Cowherd actually said...
He said that they needed to trade him. I think that Freddie Kitchens needs to run an offense and needs to stop being like, oh, this guy needs his touch, this guy needs his touch.
Right.
Just play football. Like, I don't care if Odell is going to get mad. that doesn't mean you force him the ball.
Right.
And Baker needs to do that too. Just because the play is like, hey, Odell's the main option, doesn't mean you go to Odell.
Right.
He forced one to Callaway, easy pick.
Yeah.
You know how bad Baker Mayfield played? If he
Bad.
spiked the ball every single play,
He would have had.
He would have had a.
What was it, like 30 better passer rating?
Yeah, he would have had a better passer rating
By a lot too.
than actually playing football.
Yeah.
His QB rating was one better than mine. He had a 1.4
Oh, yeah.
quarterback rating. I don't have a quarterback rating. I just wanted to say that he had one better QBR than I do.
Yeah. That's valid.
The Colts.
The Colts.
They're legit. That's a good football
Well, and I don't think anybody thought they were going to be bad. But, like, no, obviously when the Andrew Luck thing happened, it's like that completely shook up the AFC.
It did. I didn't think the Colts would make the playoffs, but I thought they'd be the team that fights to get in.
Yeah.
And I still see them as that team, but I can definitely see them stealing a playoff
No more
game.
Pittsburgh.
No more Pittsburgh.
No more Pittsburgh.
The AFC's just wide open.
It seems like no more Cleveland in the playoffs.
Especially with these next 2 weeks for them.
Yeah.
But I think the Colts are legit. They have a solid defense that was shown.
Yeah.
Brissett does what you need him to do.
Yeah.
That game, he didn't throw the ball a lot. They didn't need him to.
Wasn't Marlon Mack out too?
No, he played.
He played?
He dominated.
Yeah. Or was it the week before he was out?
The week before he was out or injured. But they have the best offensive line in football by far.
Yeah.
Quentin Nelson is something special.
Brissett really, truly has it easy.
He does.
A lot easier than Luck had for a long time.
Yeah, Brissett. And the thing is, like, he's already been their starting quarterback before. When Luck was the shoulder thing.
Yeah.
And if anyone was going to be the new quarterback for the Colts, I think he was probably the most well-accepted one that they could have got.
Do you think they keep him after this year?
He's got they re-signed him for like 2 or 3 years, I think.
Do you think they try to draft his replacement eventually, or do they stick with him?
Depends. He has looked good. I mean, he didn't look the best.
Yeah, he's not going to win a game for you, but
he tried to lose that one. That's probably why they had a series where they ran 14 plays, 12 of them were runs.
Yeah.
And they just ate the whole clock.
But they can do that because they have the best offensive line in football.
Yeah, and Marlon Mack's a good running back, too.
Yeah.
They have a solid running back room. With him, Wilkins is good.
Yeah.
Naeem Hines is solid. They're a good team.
And they seem like they're kind of set up for success for a while because, I think their core of that offensive line, if they can keep the offensive line going, obviously you have to rotate pieces around, but, maybe they find the quarterback eventually, but if, obviously their window closed for the most part when the Luck thing happened.
The Super Bowl window, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that they're still going to be competitive, and I think that they're doing a good job of staying competitive and not just tanking.
If they win a playoff game, I'm not going to be shocked.
Yeah.
At all. Who's next?
Who's next? We got the Patriots. Surprisingly.
I mean, yeah.
We know they're good. We know they're good.
But are they the best team in football? That's basically this part for the Patriots.
Considering they haven't had to play anybody.
Besides Buffalo.
Brady was bad that game.
He was god awful.
Bad.
Besides Buffalo, all the teams they have beat have combined for, I believe, 1 win.
Yeah.
And it was Pittsburgh, who beat...
Granted, I will give them that Pittsburgh week 1, when they had Roethlisberger...
was better than this Pittsburgh. But that was still a Roethlisberger that they said was hurt in that game.
Yeah.
And he just fought through it.
Yeah. They dominated them, though.
It was ridiculous. That whole, they haven't given up a passing touchdown. Well, the best quarterback they've played is Josh Allen.
And kind of Ben Roethlisberger.
Like a half-injured...
Yeah.
Whatever, Ben Roethlisberger. But, yeah, I mean, was Colt McCoy going to throw a touchdown against the...
Yeah.
Who's Luke Falk?
Yeah.
From the Jets? If they throw touchdowns, that's a problem. They play Daniel Jones this week, so that streak probably continues.
I thought they gave up one this past week.
It was a rushing touchdown.
But I thought it was a receiver who?
It was a run. It was a 65-yard run.
I swear it was a receiver.
No, it was. He ran the ball, though. It was a jet sweep. 65 yards.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Colt McCoy is... I just want to go on a little tangent here for about Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Dysfunctional. Yeah.
But I also didn't expect Jay Gruden to be that incompetent as a head coach.
Right.
Here's the thing. I said all year, Haskins should start after they play the Bears. And that looked like it was going to happen.
Yeah. I fully expected it to happen.
You know why? It should have. That way, Haskins gets all the first team reps going into that game. And then they're playing the Giants, a bad team.
Yeah.
But no, let's start Case Keenum, and then when Case Keenum is Case Keenum and still sucks.
Let's start a worse version of Case Keenum and Colt McCoy.
Well, they still just threw Haskins into the fire.
Yeah.
What up with teams like your young quarterback's not going to lead you in a 21-point deficit.
Right.
And just the play calling, like one drive they're throwing the ball every play, and then Haskins has a bad read, throws a pick. Next time you run it 3 straight times.
Yeah.
Like, do you have faith in him or not? You make up your mind.
It seems like so many of these front offices get these quarterbacks and they just don't know how to handle them. Honestly, I give the Giants some credit for that because they actually seem to do an all right job with it.
I'm glad Gruden is out of Washington. I don't think he even wanted Haskins, which is always a terrible thing for a young quarterback that a coach doesn't want you. But
you know who is really good? Terry McLaurin.
Yes, he is good.
He's going to get better when Haskins starts.
Yeah, Case Keenum is starting this week.
Yeah.
They announced that for the interim head coach, which Washington is one of the most dysfunctional organizations, and I feel bad for Haskins because he deserves better.
Washington is... Well, I think Houston has a worse organization, but they just got lucky and somehow managed to find some good players.
Yeah.
And they have a coach, too,
yeah.
which helps.
Washington, you make me look dumb.
Yeah.
I backed you up, and then Gruden, you're just that bad of a head coach.
Yeah. Do you mind me transitioning? You know who else made you look dumb?
The Falcons?
Yeah, they did.
The Falcons, thanks a lot. I just wanted to say you guys looked great against Philadelphia, and I don't know where that team went.
Yeah.
That's not...
They're gone. That
team doesn't exist anymore. The team that beat the Eagles isn't a thing anymore. I don't know. They're not good.
Desmond Trufant has sucked. Like, bad.
Matt Ryan is below 500 since Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. What happened to MVP Matt Ryan?
The reason I thought they'd be good is because their entire defense got hurt last year. Deion Jones, Keanu O'Neal. They come back this year, and like Keanu O'Neal gets hurt again, but like still, you suck.
Right.
You're just not good at football.
It's pretty much Grady Jarrett and not a whole lot else.
That's it. That's their whole defense.
And Deion Jones.
If we're talking about wrong, I mean, your Chargers, how are they doing?
Yeah, not great. I'm not gonna foreshadow a little bit. I'm gonna panic a little bit. I'm not like... I think they can still turn it around, but they seem to just love to mess up games for no reason.
I feel like they're the team that plays to their competition.
Yeah.
And that's a terrible thing in the NFL.
Because, like, what happened with Denver?
Denver controlled that game.
How do you let that happen? I still believe they have a top 5 roster.
They do.
In the league.
Is it the coaching? Is it Phillip Rivers has struggled all year?
Is it the offensive line?
Was Melvin Gordon that important to the team?
Well, Eckler's been so good.
He's had exactly, but like the only difference between this year's team and last year's I can see is just not Melvin Gordon.
Yeah. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I don't think anybody can figure it out.
No. There's a few teams that I feel like are on the border of time to panic or not, and that's a good transition.
Yes.
Into if we are going to panic or not on these teams. So I'm panicking if I'm a Chargers fan. We just lost to Denver.
I'm getting close.
Denver.
Joe play this week?
Flacco beat us. They
play Pittsburgh.
That should be.
If they don't dominate that game, then you panic.
They won 30-10 against the Dolphins, but for the first half, I was like, Miami might win a game this year, and the Chargers ended up winning, but still,
it seems like the Chargers for years have always been that team just to mess everything up. Remember when they were the team that the Browns beat?
Yeah,
The one team the Browns beat
in
a couple years ago?
33 games. It was the Chargers that lost to them.
And that Chargers team wasn't even, like, bad. I think they were, like, 8-8 or 9-7 that year.
They weren't a team comparable to the Browns.
Right.
No. Cleveland. Speaking of them.
Time to panic?
I'm
Yes,
panicking.
I'm panicking a lot. I'm panicking about Baker a lot.
Yeah. You know he's 4 touchdowns, 8 picks this year?
Yeah, not good. Not good.
I think it's just Freddie Kitchens, mainly. Baker does deserve a lot of blame. But this coach doesn't seem like he can handle being a head coach.
Right.
He's worried too much about egos.
Yeah.
Which I thought he can't handle them, but it seems like he's trying too hard.
And that's part of why he was hired, because he's supposed to be good at that.
He's supposed to be the players' coach.
Yeah.
But, like, he's trying to be too much. Like, do you see how hard they tried to get Odell involved?
Yeah.
He had a carry. He threw a pass.
Right.
And then he had, like, 1 reception. And I bet he had, like, 3 or 4 targets at minimum.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Just give Jarvis Landry the ball. He's proved that he's just as good, if not better.
And obviously
than
Odell's going to draw double teams. Odell's Odell. He's going to get his...
He's
going to get looked at.
I just don't like that they're trying to force it to people and get them involved.
Right.
Give the ball to Nick Chubb more.
Do you think... I'm afraid everything might just fall apart once Hunt gets there.
I don't know what's going to happen. I'll tell you what.
Rip Chubb in fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, because I was originally on the train that Hunt was going to kind of mess things up for Chubb in fantasy. But then Chubb showed up, started to do Chubb things, and it's like, okay, if this guy gets less carries when Hunt comes back, there's a problem.
Yeah, he's a destroying.
But I think they've shown that they have that problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to try too hard to force Hunt.
Who's next?
We've got, on the Should You Panic, you want to go Chicago, or you want to wait on it?
Let's go Chicago.
Okay.
I want to touch on Chicago. I'm not panicking as much as I want to.
I'm not panicking on the team. I'm definitely not panicking on the defense.
No. Even though Josh Jacobs looked incredible.
Yeah.
He's legit.
I think you can put a certain amount, not a lot, you can put some of that game on the traveling.
Mm-hmm. I think Oakland was there way earlier, too.
They
flew out
there like
right
4
after
days earlier.
I think they flew out right after their game the week before against Indy.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens when Trubisky comes back. They cut Bray again today, so Trubisky is going to be back.
Okay, well, Chase Daniel, who I thought looked good against...
He did the same thing last year.
He did.
He looked good against... He looked fine against Detroit.
And then
everything fell apart against the Giants.
Which is the exact same thing that happened.
But that's also why it gives me hope that this team can push through those things and be that team from last year. Because I think they're basically the same team.
There's
all
not
things
much
considered,
roster turnover.
It's just a matter of whether Trubisky is going to decide to show up or not on any given day.
Which is a tough thing.
Or I should say any given snap. Because it's not about what game it is for him. It's about... I don't know what it is for him. I don't think anybody knows.
Sometimes I'm like, wow, he's a good quarterback. And then other times I'm like, what does he think?
This guy needs to be in the XFL.
Yeah.
Did you... I was talking about this last night with some people, and I think I heard a story about, because Trubisky was an Ohio guy, like big Ohio guy. So, and from my understanding, is that Ohio State offered him a scholarship to play safety.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, when Ohio State, the obvious school for this guy to go to, doesn't even want to give him an opportunity to play quarterback.
And they're a school that, like, he seems like a quarterback that would come from Ohio State. He's mobile.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like Ohio State had, like, some, like, 5-star quarterback at the time either.
No, I don't think they did.
Because Haskins wasn't around.
No, I think it was probably, like, JT Barrett.
Yeah. So, if they can find a guy like that, he won, like, some All-State, whatever they call it, award in Ohio.
But he only did start 1 year at North Carolina, so
yeah,
would he have even started over JT Barrett in Ohio State? We don't know.
But since quarterback is so valuable, don't you think they would have rather had him in the system to play quarterback eventually?
I don't know. It's tough to say.
Because if they want him to play quarterback eventually, they're not putting him at safety.
That's true.
Let's see. We've got I'm panicking a little bit on McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's doing too much.
Yeah,
and that's not his fault.
Yeah, obviously he's great player.
He's
maybe the best, second best running back in the NFL.
I think you can start arguing if he's better than Saquon.
No,
I don't think he is. Some people
not at all. It's not a conversation if he's better than Saquon.
You don't think it's a conversation at all? I think
Saquon is far and away the best running back.
But then you can say, Saquon got hurt for the first time ever. And actually, he's recovering at a ridiculous pace. I think they said 6 to 8 weeks, and they're already saying maybe he's playing this week. He might not.
I think they said he's not going to.
He's officially out?
Yeah. But it's been a question, the past week or two. It's been, he could play, but
they're probably just going to save him till after New England.
It's not like they're going to win any games anyway.
No. But Christian, his back hurts.
He's got back problems. And he missed all that time because he was cramping last game.
Well, when he's on the field for every single snap on offense, it's hard.
Yeah.
He is the offense.
Yeah.
Like
maybe when Cam comes back, he'll get a little bit of rest. But
Kyle Allen's a quarterback that he's not. Defenses are not worried about him at all.
Yeah.
So he's just checking it down every play, it feels like. And Christian's just being Christian. He's great. But, I'm a little scared for him. I don't want him to be hurt. That was one of the things that I worried about during fantasy. I was like, is his workload going to be too high?
I had the number 2 pick in one of my leagues, and I took Kamara for that reason, because I didn't think McCaffrey could handle being out there for basically 100% of their plays.
But he's done great when he is out there.
Are we panicking on Dallas?
I'm not officially panicking, I would say, but I'm scared.
I agree.
I think they are. They're showing to be one of those teams. Like, we'll beat they're like the Kirk Cousins of football teams. They'll do great against below 500 teams, but when you give me the Saints or the Packers,
I wouldn't even I'm not going to give them as much flack for the Saints game as I think most people are, just because it was a close game. I don't think either team played very well.
I think the Saints played terrible, and they still won. I don't think the Saints didn't even score a touchdown that game. It was 4 field goals.
Yeah, it was 12-10. I'm not gonna call that necessarily a bad loss on Dallas's part.
Yeah, well, when you get murdered by Green Bay, that's definitely a bad loss.
Yeah, and I do think that Green Bay is easily the better team. Honestly, Green Bay might be the best team in the NFC right now.
I think the Saints at Green Bay might be, which I guess you can say, Dallas lost to the 2 better teams in the NFC, but they're supposed to be one of those teams.
Right.
You can't be down 31-3 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
To Green Bay, like you're supposed to be in that game, especially in Dallas.
Right.
I don't care if Aaron Rodgers owns that stadium.
You need to be in that game. Yeah, I'm not panicking, but I'm not exactly feeling good about them either.
They don't look like they have an offense if Zeke isn't having like a great game.
Yeah.
If he's having an average to below average game, looks like Dallas might as well pack up that night.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Baltimore. Are we panicking?
I'm getting a little nervous about Baltimore.
A little bit.
They looked so good, but then you remember, they played Arizona and Miami.
And then Lamar decided that he didn't feel like being as good of a quarterback anymore.
No, he looked bad in the first half against Kansas City, and then he picked it up in the second half. But the last 2 weeks,
it's been rough. It's been rough.
1 touchdown, 3 picks against Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And they almost lost that game.
If they don't get that lucky punch out, they probably do lose that game. Juju needs to definitely work on holding on.
He's always fumbling.
It's the second time now.
Third, I thought.
It's the third? I just remember New Orleans and then this one.
What happened in New Orleans? It happened again this year, I think.
Yeah, he needs to figure it out.
Yeah.
But Baltimore, their defense is all right.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have
just Earl Thomas
defense. Yeah, it's Earl Thomas and Marlon Humphrey, and I think Marlon Humphrey is kind of overrated.
Yeah,
I don't think he's like best corner in the NFL type.
He's not.
There's a lot of people that seem to think that. for some reason.
Corner, like everyone just, there's so many people that people put in that conversation, but it's just like Stephon Gilmore, Tre'Davious White, Jalen Ramsey. That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the three corners.
Right.
If you're a Jags fan, are you like, what are you thinking about Jalen Ramsey right now?
I am thinking, I think we've known for a long time that he wasn't going to come back to Jacksonville when his contract was up. I think we've known that for a long time. I think you need to, they're probably at the point right now with like the Minshew situation and where they're at as a team. I think you just got to cut your losses.
Why aren't they just trade him? I know you just love him as an owner.
Obviously, you need to make that price crazy high though, and I think I would guess that they're doing it right now because it's taking so long. Because
they're
the asking
not trade him.
Really?
They've come out and said he's not leaving, and that's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look at the NBA for cases like that, he's not leaving turns into, okay, we're trading him, but now we're in his contract year. People aren't going to pay as much because then they don't know if they still want to play. Obviously, that's different in the NFL because the agents talk to the teams. But if you're Baltimore, Kansas City, and I have to wait till the offseason to trade for Jalen Ramsey, you're not getting both my first-round picks.
Right.
You'll get maybe one.
Yeah.
He might go down to a second. Maybe. For how ridiculous players get traded for.
I guess who do you think makes that trade for him?
It's Baltimore, Kansas City.
San Francisco?
I feel like they're happy with their defense.
But if they can get better.
I don't think they want to give up any, because they've seemed like they draft well.
But that window is open right now, or at least it seems to be. It's opening at least, you know?
Their cornerback, their secondary is not like bad that they're going to want to go out and risk 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey.
But they've got their core. They've got their quarterback. They've got a set of running backs.
Their quarterback, I
still like Jimmy G.
He's all right.
I think their biggest problem outside of Kittle is their receivers. And it's not like they're bad at receiver. They've just got a bunch of guys that are serviceable.
They need a receiver before they need Jalen Ramsey.
But that's just not an option right now.
You could draft one in the first round, which you can't do if you're giving up Wade.
But then there's an amount of risk there, you know. Trade 2 first-round picks and you know you're getting a top 3 cornerback in the NFL.
Would you want to have Jalen Ramsey and Richard Sherman in the same locker room? I feel like that could be not the best situation.
I feel like they find a way to make it work.
I just don't think they're a candidate at all for
and you know who I think is? Houston.
They don't have any picks.
But
they traded
Ramsey
all of them.
Wants to go to Houston.
He said he does love DeAndre.
Yeah.
But
and also
Jacksonville
when Watson him and Deshaun Watson hung out after a game like last week.
But you also got to think they're never going to trade him to an in-division rival. No matter
right.
If Houston gave up 4
when his contract is up,
they'll probably franchise him.
But if they do trade him, it affects the trade market because if he's set on Houston, then and teams know that, then they're not going to trade for him.
There's been players that are set on a certain team and get traded somewhere else and they're fine.
Yeah.
Most times. I don't think Houston.
You to call out Paul George real quick.
NBA players, just all of them.
Yeah,
they all say they want to go to one place and they get traded somewhere else.
Quick announcement though, NBA is coming soon. NBA talk. I gotta redo the logo. It'll take me like a minute, but
I think there's mainly just 2 teams. It's Kansas City and it's Baltimore. Which one of those 2 teams? If Jacksonville is willing to trade, which they need to be. Stop being stubborn. His back does hurt, like he actually is injured, but he could have been practicing and stuff if he wanted to. He just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Once you lose that respect with the coach or a GM, then it's all gone.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to.
It snowballs and goes farther and farther downhill.
He wants out, and I think Kansas City will give that up, and then they'll flip him.
Yeah.
They won't get equal value to what they trade, but is it worth a Super Bowl? I think they'll decipher it is.
Yeah. Let's see. We could do. Are we panicking on Minnesota?
I'm panicking on Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins definitely. We're panicking.
I think Minnesota has such a good roster, though.
Yeah.
Their offense has so many weapons.
Yeah.
And Diggs doesn't want to be there with Kirk Cousins. He realized, like, this guy's not good at football.
Yeah.
He's overrated. Well, actually, he's not even overrated anymore because everyone hates him.
Right. I think
some people are starting to apologize for their Kirk Cousins comments because he played well. And then you're like, oh, he played well against the Giants.
Yeah, in one game.
Who played well against the Redskins. That's the only team that their secondaries looked good against.
Right. You got to wonder what happens to this team if and when Cook gets hurt.
Oh my God! If he gets hurt, this team doesn't exist.
Yeah,
they're going to be a top.
You could consider that
pick.
maybe things start to spiral if this season doesn't go well. If they aren't at least in the playoff race,
I would just eat the dead money.
Maybe.
I would eat $28 million to just say, get off my team. We're gonna draft somebody, or maybe we'll give Teddy Bridgewater a second chance.
Yeah.
Like, whatever the Saints.
You'd say Bridgewater. You could say Jameis.
Yeah, he might not get re-signed. Like, I don't know. I'd take a chance on anybody.
I'd take Jameis over him.
I'd take a lot of people over Kirk Cousins right now. I don't know. Would you rather have the Bears quarterback situation or Minnesota's quarterback situation? Because they're pretty similar. I think. I think I'd rather have the Bears just because.
Just because you're not locked in all that money.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to, Chicago could just give up on Trubisky this year and draft somebody.
Yeah,
this is a deeper quarterback.
You have room to reset.
Yeah, they don't have to re-sign Trubisky.
Yeah,
they're just basically swapping out.
I have this nightmare scenario of them doing it, and it's undeserved. Because I'm not going to completely rule out Trubisky turning things around. I'm not going to completely rule it out. No, he definitely could. But I'm not. And by no means am I expecting it. But to play devil's advocate, you could want to be Minnesota because after next year, he's just done. All the money's off the books. You don't have to worry. Am I going to re-sign him? Because obviously they. But it's the same way with Trubisky. I think there's more promise in Trubisky though. Like we know what Kirk Cousins is at this point. But I think by the end of the year, if things don't get fixed, then they'll be in the same spot where everybody knows this guy's not coming back. Both teams are way too good to be. I think they're both 3-2, and they're both too good to be. They're 3-2 in spite of their quarterbacks. Exactly. Kirk Cousins is so bad at football. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I don't know. Like, does he get in his own head? Because he looks fine against bad teams, but when he plays Green Bay, he has a worse passer rating than Christian Ponder ever had. Well, that game against Chicago, terrible. He's god-awful against Chicago every time they play. Yeah. How do you get embarrassed by Chicago? Week 17, you win, you're in. Yeah. The Bears are halfway trying. Yeah. Because, the Bears have a connection with the Eagles, which came to backfire, but still, they're kind of trying to win. Right. But you just get embarrassed. Like, your whole season's on the line, and you guys don't look like you want to be there. Yeah. And then they had the infamous argument on the sideline with Thielen and Cousins. And Thielen's a competitor, and you can tell he's still a really nice guy. Yeah. But in the media, he's came out and said they need to throw the ball more and be able to. That Thielen-Diggs combination, it's just such a waste of talent right now. Diggs wants to go somewhere else. Speaking of wide receivers, there actually is one on the trade market. Talking for San Francisco, AJ Green. Oh yeah. But since he is willing to trade him, trade for him while he's hurt, maybe get him at a discount. I heard New England's really interested in him. Yeah, I think we knew that. New England's interested in anybody. Actually, that does kind of surprise me now, because you'd think they're done. A wide receiver? I mean, they're always willing to take somebody. But they've got Gordon and Edelman, and that's it. They get production out of Dorsett. But if you have A.J. Green, your offense might not be okay. Like, they're average. Is N'Keal Harry coming back? He's on IR. He's on IR for the full year? I don't know, but it's not. If you give up A.J. Green's old, and he's not getting a top 2-round pick out of him. Giving up a third for him, which I would do. AJ Green's still solid. I guess it depends on if you're trading for him while he's still hurt. I'd say 4th or 5th, because you don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. True. But assuming he comes back and he's AJ Green for the most part, then I think he's a 3rd. It wouldn't be the first time New England does it. I mean, they did it with Josh Gordon. They did it with Randy Moss forever ago. Yeah. They like to get their receivers. They even tried to get Chad Ochocinco. Yeah. He just didn't work out. Mm-hmm.
they're always willing to take people.
Right.
Because they always have nobodies.
You think Antonio Brown gets signed anywhere?
Never.
Never?
Never.
He seems to want to go back to New England.
They don't want him.
I know, but he seems to want to go back.
He's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's real. I think he has CTE. I think it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And it's not
He's kind of been out of the news for the most part.
Thank God. I'm sick of hearing about him.
Yeah. Especially as a former owner.
Yeah, that hurt.
That hurt a lot.
I didn't want to draft him, but like it was at the point where it was like
it's like the
too
value
late.
was like,
I was like, it's the third round. Antonio Brown's here. Let me take him. And then
I almost took Mahomes with that pick.
That sucks. Let's not panic on Mahomes. By the way, I saw that.
Really, people are panicking on Mahomes.
There's the thing that ESPN posted. It said first 3 games, 10 touchdowns. Last 2 games, 1 touchdown. I read some comments.
I will say what is kind of interesting. 16-0 for Mahomes in non-primetime games. 2-6 in primetime games.
Also, that's true. He's never been the problem in a single one of those losses, though.
Yeah.
It's not like he's the Kirk Cousins where you're like, this guy cannot play in primetime. Like, I think in every primetime game, he still had about, like, at the minimum, 275 yards.
Yeah.
And, like, he looked okay against the Colts with a hobbled ankle and his best wide receiver as Demarcus Robinson.
Right.
Can't even say Kelsey was his best wide receiver. Kelsey dropped 2 balls in the first quarter. That dictated how the game went. Kelsey had one of the worst games he's had.
Yeah.
Also, the left side of the Kansas City's offensive line could start high school maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, it was ridiculous. I mean, I'm watching it, and I'm just watching random, not even Justin Houston just destroying the left tackle, a random defensive tackle just destroying this left guard. Just pancaked him. Yeah. You get pancaked as an offensive lineman, there's a problem. Yeah. You're not good. They're signing people who were, I thought, retired to play offensive line.
Who did they sign?
Stefan Winzowski or whatever.
Steven Wisniewski?
Yeah. Wow. They signed him. I thought he was done for like 3 years now.
Well, he was in Oakland, right?
He was good in Oakland, and then he was okay for the Eagles, and then he was like, I'm done. But now Kansas City's like, we're so bad.
Yeah, we need you.
We need offensive. We need players to play on this team because everyone right now is getting hurt.
Yeah. And
it's not good.
Their defense has been okay, though, for the most part.
No.
I mean,
the run defense
is better. Okay in relation to last year.
Kinda. I think their secondary is just as bad. If it wasn't for Tyrann Mathieu, this defense would be worse than last year.
Yeah.
He's just such a great playmaker. But Rashad Breeland is my new least favorite player ever.
Did you see Orlando Scandrick?
Yeah, look at him. Has a statement game. Well, Rashad Breeland has like 5 penalties for 90 yards. He had the longest penalty in the NFL this year so far. A 55-yard pass interference.
Yeah.
And then he had 4 defensive holdings. You are the worst corner that gets playing time in the NFL. If you can't play for Kansas City, you can't play football in the NFL at corner.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Like, the Kansas City's just signing whoever they can right now.
Right.
At corner, and that's
why there's not a whole lot out there.
There's obviously not. There's a reason these people are in free agency.
Yeah.
But no, Mahomes doesn't need to be panicked on. People are saying, like, oh, defenses are figuring him out. Are they really, though? Because he's still throwing for 300 yards in both the games he's, quote-unquote, struggled in. Like, he's still looking great. I think right now...
he's still the MVP.
Russell does get some consideration.
Yeah, but
heavy.
Right now...
I think it's like 60-40. Yeah. Mahomes should still be MVP.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson is making that Seattle team what they are.
Yeah. You want to... Speaking of quarterbacks...
I do want to do this segment.
Our little segment we've been planning for a little bit now. Would you rather have Trubisky or blank? Let's run down quarterbacks. Let's pull up a list of every single starting quarterback in the NFL.
I'll just start it off real easy. Would you rather have Trubisky or Gardner Minshew?
And this is on the Bears, by the way.
Yeah, on the Bears roster. I think I'm going Gardner Minshew. As weird as that is to say, he has looked like an actual starting quarterback, and the aura around him is just so great. He seems like he's a great
I think
leader.
Trubisky used to have that, in a way, but he's completely lost it.
They play similar.
Yeah.
They have similar play styles. But, I mean, that throw that that Gardner made against Denver,
Yeah.
I don't know if Trubisky could have made that play, where he evades five sacks.
I don't think there's a lot of plays that Trubisky can't make. I think he's got it. I think he's got it to make any play that you really want him to, outside of like the crazy Mahomes Rodgers type stuff.
And Russell Wilson. Those three,
they're on another level. But I think as far as playmaking ability, Trubisky is in that second tier.
I just don't.
But he's just going to lose games for you.
I think he physically can make them. I just think he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Gardner does make those plays. Like, he almost won them that game against Carolina, but he also almost lost it for him too. He had a few dropped picks.
I would honestly call it even.
I'd say either or. I mean, for the future though, I mean,
if you're going to force me to choose, as far as value goes, I'm taking Minshew 100 times out of 100.
6th round pick for Gardner or a 2nd overall pick for Trubisky. I mean, Jacksonville is looking great right now.
Yeah. Let's do.
We'll just keep going with the bad teams. Well, I mean, Gardner's not on a bad team.
We'll save Rosen for later.
I was just gonna bring him
because that'll be I think that'll be a long one. Let's go with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I'd rather have Trubisky.
I agree.
Fitzpatrick is
you get a much higher ceiling.
Fitzpatrick is gonna have one good game maybe, and then he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm still a backup quarterback."
I'm gone. We'll wait for Andy Dalton too.
I'd rather have Andy Dalton. I'll just get into it. Andy Dalton.
Oh, okay, we'll do Andy Dalton right now. I completely agree. I'd rather have Andy Dalton.
Trubisky. I don't think Andy Dalton's gonna lose you the game.
Exactly.
Like Mitch Trubisky has proven he will.
I think the Bears are a Super Bowl team with Andy Dalton as their quarterback.
They're more of a contender than they are.
Yeah.
I think if you have Andy Dalton on there,
yeah,
they're one of those like a fringe. Like if they make the Super Bowl, not everyone's not gonna be like, "How'd this team make it?"
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's more of a Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer won.
Or I would say recently Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, yeah, they're on a similar level.
And I honestly think Dalton's a better quarterback than Nick Foles.
Yeah, I just.
But as far as the role he would serve on the Bears, I would compare them. We already had our Kirk Cousins discussion.
Mariota,
I'm taking Trubisky.
I'm barely taking Trubisky.
I'm super down on Mariota.
Yeah, but you also at least won a playoff game. Barely against a.
I don't see enough of a ceiling with Mariota. I think Trubisky's ceiling is higher, and the floor is pretty much the same.
Awful. They're both not good.
Yeah. Joe Flacco.
I'm taking Flacco.
On the Bears.
I'm taking Flacco on the Bears.
That's tough. I'll probably take Trubisky, but it's pretty close.
I'm taking Flacco. I think he's looked good for Denver.
Yeah.
But Denver's losing games by last-second field goals.
Right.
They lost twice to that already.
And I think that what that Bears team could really use is just consistency.
If they had Alex Smith, they'd be lucky.
A healthy Alex Smith.
Well, obviously not the snapped leg Alex Smith, but yeah, if they had Alex Smith before his leg broke.
Outside of the obvious, oh yeah, I'd love to have Tom Brady on my team. You know who I think the perfect quarterback could be for the Bears right now? Dak Prescott.
If they had Dak Prescott, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But Dak doesn't have the defense Chicago has. But Dak also has shown that he struggles without Zeke and Amari.
But I think Nagy would make enough happen for him.
True. Jason Garrett is not the play designer as Nagy is.
He doesn't have the same weapons. He's got Cooper and Zeke, and Gallup is fine too. But
yeah, he's alright. I like the Bears' weapons.
Yeah.
Not as much because Zeke and Cooper elevated so much more. There's so much
in Nagy's system. I like the Bears' weapons better.
Yeah. Because Cowboys are boring
because you just have more of them.
Cowboys are boring to watch.
Yeah.
Even with Kellen Moore being this offensive genius. Yeah, sure he is.
Yeah.
10 points.
Jameis Winston.
I want Winston. That's a tough one, but I want Winston.
Yeah, I think Trubisky is a better athlete. I mean, obviously, we know that Winston is not like a running quarterback per se. He can, but he's not.
He's not as mobile as Trubisky is.
I think they've got similar arms.
I think Winston has a little bit better, just a little bit.
I think Winston is more capable of like winning you a football game.
Mm-hmm. He's one of those inconsistent quarterbacks.
Yeah, but the gap is less. You know what I mean?
It just seems like his decision making is just really bad, and I feel like the people in Chicago could help that out more.
Yeah.
I think he's already been improving as the season has gone on with Bruce Arians. They've seen like they're starting to get a little bit better together, and he's starting to get back on my Winston love.
Right.
I like it.
Daniel Jones.
That's a really tough one.
Yeah.
This is
on the Bears. I am quite tempted to take Daniel Jones.
I think I would. I think he's looked promising,
and he's not going to make terrible mistakes.
He at Duke, that's all he did. I mean, he obviously won them games at Duke because Duke would not have been like 9-3 if they had anyone else. Well, besides like other NFL quarterbacks.
And it's not like he has a crazy arm.
It's a solid arm. He is like very similar to Alex Smith when I watch him. He's a little bit more mobile, even though Alex Smith was a good athlete, but Daniel Jones is a better one.
Like, say you plug in Daniel Jones into the situation the Bears were in at the end of the Denver game. Daniel Jones doesn't make that play to Allen Robinson.
No, I don't think he can.
But
he would have checked it down.
But you give him the entire game, and
I don't think they're
not in that position.
They're not in the situation. I think they're winning that game.
I think I'm probably going to take Daniel Jones, and it's close, but not that close.
No, I didn't have to think about it for too long.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is the quarterback I want.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy. He's shown that he wins game. Like he's not going to lose you the game. He's proven that. He's 3-0.
Yeah, he's going to manage.
He's 3-0. He looked great against Tampa.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns.
And that Tampa defense isn't. They're not bad.
Improved.
Not bad.
They're improved from last year where they were god awful.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles is doing a great. Shaq Barrett.
Yeah.
Is ridiculous.
That man is going to get paid.
I think he just did, sadly.
Well, no, he's on a 1-year prove it.
There's
deal.
a 1-year prove it? Oh, yeah. Tampa, you messed up. You should have gave him a 2-year.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Rosen now.
Oh my god. I'm going
to take Rosen.
I was going to. I'm
going to take Rosen.
And he would finally have weapons. He would finally have a coach.
Yeah.
I think if Rosen was in Chicago, people would be like, he's better than everyone in that draft class. Like
everyone?
As bad as Baker's playing right now? Yes.
Oh, would you rather have Baker or Trubisky?
I'd take Baker. As bad as Baker's been playing. I think Kitchens hurts him.
Yeah, I'm taking Baker too.
Not by as much as I would have before the season.
Yeah, as much as I would have like last week.
Before this terrible, terrible game. Yeah.
How about Brissett?
I take Brissett.
Yeah, me too.
I feel as right now we've taken Trubisky over.
Let's do some rankings from the bottom up when we're done with this.
Okay.
You know what? Let's just go ahead and do it now.
I mean, the top 3 quarterbacks are Mahomes, in my opinion.
No, from the bottom, like 32.
Oh my god,
down.
well, it's harder to do from the bottom.
Well, okay, we'll do it from the top then.
Mahomes is one.
I think top 4 consensus. We don't even necessarily have to rank them.
We don't need to rank
top
them.
4: Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, Wilson.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Then that's when you get into the Wentz.
5.
Wentz.
5. I agree on Wentz. 6. Breeze.
Breeze, yeah, because he's hurt.
7. Now you're kind of getting into.
Now do I say Goff? He's struggling.
No.
He's.
I think 7. You're getting into like Stafford territory, Rivers territory.
See, like there's such a drop off from the top 4.
I would probably put Rivers at 7. I'm putting a healthy Cam at 7. I'm putting a healthy Cam. Not necessarily MVP Cam, but a healthy Cam.
Well, MVP Cam doesn't count anymore because he's so long ago. It's tough. Where do you put Dak on there? Like,
I'm going healthy Cam 7, Rivers 8.
Where's Ben on there? Ben's 9.
Probably Ryan 10.
That's what I'm thinking. This is tough. Like 11.
11.
Is this where I put?
I feel like I'm forgetting
Is
somebody.
this where I put Goff?
I don't think Goff
at
is there
11?
yet.
I definitely think he's.
I think 11, I'm going to go Jimmy G.
No, Goff's better.
No.
100%.
I
I don't care
100%
what
disagree.
you say. Jimmy
I'm
G
taking
is
Jimmy
not
G 11.
better. No.
I'm taking Jimmy
Goff's
G 11.
Jimmy G's in the 15s.
Jimmy. Oh no. I'm not putting Jimmy G in the 15s. 12, I'll take Dak.
Goff's better than Dak. And no matter what way you spin it,
I am taking Dak.
Goff is a better player than Dak Prescott.
Take away McVay and Goff is nothing.
Take away Zeke and Dak Prescott's below
But,
average.
like,
don't butt me. Like,
I just
Goff
think that
doesn't
so
have
much
Todd
of
Gurley
Goff's
right now.
production is based on McVay.
The thing about McVay, his offense is mainly running based.
Yeah, so he sets
And
up the play
Gurley's
action.
hurt. And Goff is the only reason there was a single
Goff to me is just regressing too far into the rookie year days.
No.
It's going too far
He's
back.
better than Dak Prescott.
I'll put Goff at 13.
Goff's above Jimmy G and Dak.
I disagree.
Okay. We'll just move on.
14.
That's Stafford.
Oh wait, no.
Stafford's not better than Goff either. Win a playoff game, please. That's got to be some kind of thing. He won playoff games. He did bad in the Super Bowl, but he played great against Dak.
I am tempted to put Stafford even like 10. I kind of forgot about him.
You mentioned him at 7. No, he's above Jimmy G and he's above Dak, but he's not above Goff.
I'm gonna put him at.
I'm putting him at.
I'm
12.
gonna put him at.
13's Dak, 14's Jimmy G.
I'm gonna go 10 Stafford, 11 Ryan, 12. Who'd I put? 12 was.
Lamar Jackson. Where's he go?
Wait, who did I have 12 though? Was it Dak and then?
You had 11 Jimmy G, 12.
Oh
Dak.
yeah, so Jimmy G, and then Dak, and then Goff, and then I'm taking Jackson at 16.
We forgot about Deshaun Watson.
Oh, Watson is.
Fuck. Watson's 5 or 6.
I'm taking Watson.
Yeah, just move everyone down one. Watson's 6.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting to the Winston talks. Do I put Winston?
Okay, so we're at 16 now?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. Okay, let's run down the list one more time.
Jesus Christ.
So
The
top
4
four,
everyone
top 4.
has. Wentz, Watson,
Wentz, Breeze, Rivers,
Cam,
then I took Stafford,
and then I took Goff, and
then Ryan,
or no, I had Ryan, then
and
Goff.
then Ryan, and then Jimmy G, and then Dak, and then Goff.
and then Lamar.
Oh, what number are we at? Fuck.
That's 14.
14.
We're on 14 when
14.
you get to Lamar.
14. Wait, are you sure?
No, Goff was 14,
Goff was 14.
which is too low. But
15
was
Lamar. 16, you're getting into...
Teddy Bridgewater, you're getting into
No, I'm not putting Bridgewater 16.
over
16.
I mean, who's better? You got Kirk Cousins, you got Sam Darnold, you got nobody's. I need
16, I'm probably going to take
this is the average quarterback in the NFL, and it's Teddy.
Derek Carr, probably 16.
No,
Who's better than Derek Carr?
Teddy Bridgewater is.
No.
Derek
I'm
Carr
not
had
taking
one good
Bridgewater.
year. He blew up his back, and now he's if it wasn't.
But he hasn't been like bad.
If it wasn't for Josh Jacobs, the Raiders wouldn't win any games. That's a fact.
But that roster also sucks.
Does it though?
Yes.
Darren
Waller's
Waller's great. Tyrell Williams
and-
has been good.
He's been hurt.
The games he played, he was great. He misses one game. That doesn't mean he's.
Hasn't he been on IR for a couple weeks?
He hasn't been on IR at all. He's been questionable.
I swear he's on IR.
No, he was
I'm looking
questionable
it
for
up right
Chicago, and then he was out. Winston, then Bridgewater. So 16 Winston, 17.
I'm taking
Bridgewater.
16 Carr, 17 Winston, 18.
That's what I'll put Carr. It's 18. He's okay.
18, I'll go Brissett.
Yeah, Brissett's better than. Just get to the bottom 10. I mean, like,
Okay,
Gardner
but
Minshew.
you didn't want to start from the bottom. 19, I'm going 19 Darnold.
Baker Mayfield.
19 Mayfield, 20 Darnold.
21 Josh Allen.
21 Allen, 22.
That's where I put Andy Dalton at.
22, we'll go Dalton.
Are we counting Kyle Allen in this?
No.
Okay, well, he would be near the bottom for me anyway.
23.
Daniel Jones.
23 Jones.
23 Kyler Murray, then Daniel Jones.
Oh, I forgot about Murray.
Dude, do not put him that much higher. He is 23, and he's not better than that. There's no way you can put him above Baker, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater, any of those.
I'm putting him above Bridgewater.
How? What?
Bridgewater is a backup.
Is he, though? Because he
Yes.
was a starter till his leg snapped.
And then he came back for a while. He's been back for a couple of years now. He has not. If he was a starting,
see what his
if
leg
he was a
did?
starting quarterback, he would be starting for Miami or something right now.
No, because New Orleans snatched him up to be his backup. He's
I don't-
3-0. He's good. He's better than Kyler Murray.
I'm not taking.
Kyler
I'm
Murray
not taking him over Murray.
beats. Well, it's not for the future. It's for this year. Teddy Bridgewater's better. You can't tell me different.
I'm still taking Kyler.
That you're just on the Kyler hype train. That's what
I
you
am,
are.
and I'm taking
They won
Kyler.
one game. Let's calm down.
Because I think that
They beat Cincy. He looked good against Cincy.
Kyler's fucking good though. I'm taking Kyler.
No.
And then
Daniel Jones is
I'm taking
24.
Kyler, and then I'm taking Bridgewater,
And then you're keeping it, whatever.
and then I'm taking Trubisky.
Trubisky's like 26.
Or no, or I'm-
We're
well-
on 24, and this is where Kirk Cousins comes in.
No, I'm going Flacco first.
Flacco 24, 25.
25 Cousins.
Sure, 26 for me is Trubisky.
26 Trubisky, I can agree with that. 27 Mariota.
Yep.
28 Rosen.
Yeah, 28 Rosen. 29. I mean, which Washington quarterback are we putting?
29, we'll just put Washington quarterback. 30, we've got...
We didn't put Gardner anywhere. He's 25. He's
Yeah.
above Kirk Cousins.
This is difficult.
ridiculous.
I need it like in front of me.
I know.
Who did we forget?
Nobody.
Big
No one of them
Ben.
important. No, we use 8.
Oh.
This is ridiculous. The worst 2 quarterbacks in the league might as well be Trubisky and Kirk Cousins at this point. And Washington.
As far as like
And Miami.
expectations go,
Yeah, they were expected to be good quarterbacks, and they aren't. And
as
we
far as like
spent
their
20
team's
minutes
window, yeah,
ranking people just to get back to that point.
yeah.
I think that was great.
Is Trubisky still I forgot his name, the Vikings quarterback.
Christian Ponder?
Yeah, Christian Ponder with a better arm.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair comparison. Christian Ponder, a disappointing first-round pick. Trubisky's not as bad as EJ Manuel. But,
No, definitely not.
But
How many backups do you think we're taking over Trubisky?
Would you take Kyle Allen? I don't.
That's a
think
difficult. I can't justify that.
Nah, Kyle Allen's not that good. I would take Bridgewater. So there's one backup.
Bridgewater,
Taking Minshew. That's another backup.
Minshew.
Would you have taken Mason Rudolph before he died?
Probably not. I think about it though. Eli? Question mark.
I would take Eli over Trubisky. He knows how to win.
That's a stretch. I'm not taking Eli over Trubisky.
I would.
Tyrod Taylor.
I would definitely take Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is still slept on.
Maybe Tyrod Taylor of a couple of years ago. But
I mean,
a
we
Tyrod
haven't
Taylor
seen-
hasn't started a game in a while. Probably
Now he's sitting behind Phillip, learning.
learning
He has a
at 30 years old.
Hey, never too late to learn. Kurt Warner was bad for a few years before he came back to Arizona.
RG3?
No.
No.
No, he's never going to be this.
And I think that's where pretty much Tannehill? No.
Yeah, we're done now.
Yeah.
Trevor Siemian, no. Luke Falk, no.
Yeah, I think we're done there.
I just, you want to argue Why are you so down on Teddy Bridgewater as a quarterback?
Because I just don't. He's still a backup.
Is he?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Just because you back.
I think he could start for Washington.
He could start for a lot of teams.
There's a lot of backups that could start other places. How many teams could Bridgewater truly start for?
Minnesota, Chicago, Washington.
I don't think so.
He's for one season.
I think he would start for Carolina with Cam out.
I mean, are we doing one season or like because a future thing? They're never gonna start.
Let's say who's gonna win you a game.
I mean, he's not gonna lose it. As you've seen, he's 3-0 right now, and he beat Tampa.
I'm trying to think of a roster that's like capable of winning, but isn't that you want to put
Buffalo,
Detroit,
Buffalo and Detroit? I mean, put Stafford.
I feel like Detroit is the more balanced roster for it. Because Buffalo, there's just not much there.
Yeah. Frank Gore still good though?
Yeah.
Like 14 carries, like 90 yards.
Let's put X quarterback on Detroit and tell you to win a football game. So are you putting Trubisky on Detroit and trusting them to win?
No. They haven't proven to win with Stafford.
Well, okay. I feel like season long is the better
season long. I think like
because then they
go like 6-10 with Trubisky, if not 5-11.
I think 6-10 is valid. 7-9.
Yeah, that 7-9's like their ceiling.
Yeah. I think
anyone below like a Jimmy G level quarterback, I don't think can handle Detroit's roster. Just to make it easier, like I think he's the min. But that also includes Goff for me.
I don't think Goff could handle having to carry Detroit.
I think he could. I think if he had Galladay, Marvin Jones, Hawkinson, and Carry-On, I think he'd be fine.
And it's not like I think he'd be like bad per se, but he's not gonna be.
You're too low on Goff. I mean, he's shown you more in his one good year last year than Jimmy. Jimmy G has played, I think, less games than Baker Mayfield has. I think that's a real thing. Jimmy G has played 14.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And yes, he's won them, but again, who has he played? When San Francisco won those like 6 games in a row when they first traded for him, I think they beat one 500 team and they beat 0 this year.
Tampa
below 500. They're 2-3.
Barely though. I think Tampa is a quality win.
But it wasn't because they played bad. They got lucky.
They won 31-17.
It was 17-17, and then Winston threw a pick 6, and they threw another pick where they got a touchdown. Some scores are not as big of a difference as they actually are.
They beat up Cincy.
Yeah, who does?
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying they beat up Cincy. Obviously, they just beat up Cleveland.
What was the score against the Steelers? Wasn't in the close.
24-20.
Yeah, like against a bad Steelers.
Jimmy G has a 3, 4, 5, 7 to 4 touchdown to interception ratio right now.
That's okay.
He has through 4 games. I've been really close to them. I didn't notice. Through 4 games, he has 920 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks, and has ran 16 times for 6 yards.
Well, I knew he wasn't mobile, but I didn't know he was running that much to get 6 yards. He's all right. He's my slightly above average NFL quarterback. I think if it was
slightly above average isn't doing him justice. I think he is a quality above average quarterback.
Nah.
I think you can win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, but you've seen that the average quarterbacks win Super Bowls with great defenses.
I guess.
And the Niners definitely have the potential to be one of the, not this year, but like in a few years, to be those great defensive teams.
Well, I think they've already got the pass rush.
They have 4 high first round picks on that defensive line.
Yeah.
The lowest pick was 16th overall.
And that was
Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
And then 7th for DeForest Buckner, 3rd for Solomon Thomas, 2nd for Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Nick Bosa's good. That man is good.
We knew it. That's why he should have been number 1 pick.
Yeah.
But Arizona doesn't know how to run a football team.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at. You want to do some overrated, underrated, or do you want to preview some games next week?
I just think the game that everyone should watch is the 12 o'clock Houston-Kansas City game.
Yeah, that's
I think if
that's
you're
the
not
one.
watching that
I'm kind of surprised it's not prime time.
You know that Colts-Chiefs game being the first primetime game that Kansas City got this year, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Granted, they do get 2 in a row, I think.
Well, knowing how Mahomes plays in prime time, you should be happy.
Knowing how Kansas City's defense plays in primetime, yeah. But Mahomes is still, I think, 300 yards every primetime game.
That was a stretch right there.
They've lost to Seattle in primetime. They've lost to New England. They've lost to just good teams.
Yeah. Let's see. You want to do some locks against the spread?
Let's give my 3, no matter what.
3 locks.
What's the spread on the Kansas City-Houston game?
Kansas City -5.
I think it's a 3-point game. So
Well, it's in Kansas City though.
So was last week. No left tackle, no left guard, no questionable Tyreek Hill. I'm saying Kansas City wins by 3, so I'd take it.
I'll take Houston against the spread.
Against the spread, not to win the game. Though.
Right.
But if Houston wins that game, I'm still not worried about Kansas City.
Right.
But that does prove that Houston is the 3rd best team.
Yeah. A lock that I have for you is...
No matter what the spread is for the Patriots, I want to take that.
It is... Wait, I think they're on bye.
No, they play the Giants.
They play the Giants? Why
Tomorrow.
isn't it here then? Oh, because it's not on Sunday.
It's a Thursday
tomorrow.
game. Yeah.
Let's see the spread on it. It is... Patriots -17.
I think they beat them by 20.
Yeah, that's valid. Let's see, the Monday night game.
That's 2 of mine. Who's the Monday night game? Monday night games are basically Thursday night games at this point.
Is Green Bay -4 against Detroit.
I'm taking Green Bay.
At home.
I'm taking Green Bay on that one.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay. A lock, Carolina -2.
Who do they play?
Tampa.
You think they...
Locking that in. Book it.
I think Tampa Carolina lost the first time. Yeah, I think Carolina with Christian McCaffrey lock it in. Without, I bet the spread changes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So at that +2 for Tampa, because it's in Tampa.
No.
Yeah.
It's in London.
Oh.
So it's a Tampa home game, but.
Yeah. Yeah, we're locking in Carolina.
I could see Tampa winning.
Did you see O.J. Howard caught a foul ball last night?
Yeah.
The Rays game?
He showed off his hands.
For the first time this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, finally. I got another lock for you. Arizona +2.5. +2.5 against Atlanta.
No.
Book it.
No.
Book it. Arizona +2.5 at home against Atlanta.
I think Atlanta still wins. As bad as they are, they're not the Cardinals.
I'm booking Arizona at home.
No. Who on Arizona's defense can guard Julio Jones and then on the other side guard Calvin Ridley? They don't even have one corner. Is Patrick Peterson back yet?
I don't think so.
I think this should be the week that he came back.
Kyler will tear up that defense.
Nah.
Kyler will tear up that
I
defense.
don't think he'll tear it up.
Fitz catches 2 passes. Christian Kirk goes for
if he plays
115.
If he plays.
And David Johnson has a receiving touchdown.
I'm
shaking your head.
I would lock in the Falcons.
I'm locking in Arizona.
We'll see. We'll see with that one.
Dallas on the road against the Jets.
What is it?
Jets +7.
I'd take Dallas on that.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas too.
They're gonna.
Over-under is only 43 though.
That's a ridiculously low game.
Yeah.
I remember when the Kansas City Rams game was like, over-under was like 60.
Yeah. Kansas City Houston is 55.
I would take the over on that. I think it's going to be a 35.
Atlanta, Arizona is 51.5.
Yeah, neither one of them have a defense. Atlanta's winning.
Baltimore -11.5 against Cincy.
I would take Baltimore on that.
Yeah, Baltimore at home.
They're going to be motivated. They're going to want something to prove. Lamar's going to be like, I'm still a quarterback. let me pick apart this terrible defense.
Yeah.
And Mark Ingram is way better than I thought.
I'm taking the over, though.
What's the points?
48.
I think it's more than 48 points?
Yeah.
Total?
Yeah.
How much do you think Baltimore's putting on him?
I think Baltimore puts 31 or 35 on him.
And then you think...
I think
Cincy did put up 20?
I think Cincy shows up.
Cincy's ridiculous.
I think we're going to see a Joe Mixon resurgence.
That's where we were both wrong. Joe Mixon and Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
Two guys that I thought...
Kerryon hasn't been, like, bad.
He's been
good
disappointing.
Yeah.
I had him as a RB1.
Yeah.
And Joe Mixon I had as a potential lead the league in rushing kind of guy. Because you can never really predict that.
Right.
But I thought he had the talent and the touches.
McCaffrey's leading the league in rushing right now, right?
Yep. Barely. Over Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I think it's like 20 yards. Cook will get it back this week.
Yeah. Well, because Carolina, are they on bye?
Carolina.
Oh, no, they play Tampa. We play Tampa.
Man.
I'm struggling. That's all right.
Buffalo and Oakland are byes.
Okay, in Chicago.
Chicago's a bye?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. A bye this early.
Yeah.
Kansas City's bye's not till week 12. They need their bye
I'd much rather have that.
Not if you're Kansas City.
But like when you're like you're a Super Bowl contender.
The late bye is good for that, but like to win.
I'd rather be gassed and maybe lose a couple of games in a row going to the bye, than have like a week 5 bye and just like have to suffer the rest of the year.
Right now, they need it. Everyone's hurt.
Yeah.
Tyreek might come back though, and they need that.
I think the Bears needed their bye this week pretty bad because we know Trubisky's coming back now.
Mm-hmm. Well, Gruden had a point to prove.
Yeah.
He wanted to be like, I'm not as dumb as everyone said for that Mac. I don't think Mac got a sack.
Gruden coached a hell of a game.
Did Mac get a sack? I know he got a few pressures. He didn't get a sack. He was gonna make sure Mac did not get a sack against him. So.
Yeah, is that about all we've got?
I think that was a lot.
We argued more than usual, I think.
Well, that's because you think Jimmy G's that good, and I
think Jimmy G's a good quality quarterback.
And you overrate Kyler Murray, too. He's still a rookie.
Yeah, but he's
number one overall. What has he showed that I'm just like, wow.
He's got it, man. Like
that's not the eye test, I guess. But
yeah, he passes the eye test really well for me. Give him an offensive line. I wonder, like, what are the quarterback rankings right now for fantasy? Because I did say Kyler would be a top 4.
You said top 4?
Yeah, I made that prediction.
I know Lamar Jackson's top 5.
I think he's number 1. Wait, no, Mahomes is 1, and then
not anymore. Lamar was number 1, but not anymore. After last week, he put up like 10 points.
Let's see. See, now it's got him on for standard scoring. Let's see if we can find it.
I just think Kyler's not close, I don't think. I think he's like 12.
It makes me decide between PPR and non-PPR for quarterback scoring.
Like they're going to catch a pass?
Yeah.
That happened once. I think.
Flashback to Marcus Mariota.
I don't think that counts.
I don't think you want to remember that game very much. I don't think
that counts. Does that count as a touchdown reception in the book?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
I can't find, like...
Let's go to, like, all players and then quarterback.
Watson's
up there. He's not top 4.
I know he's not top 4, but...
He might be,
let's see.
13.
Players, quarterbacks, stats, season, all players. Wilson, number 1 at 126. Mahomes, number 2 at 123. Watson, number 3 at 122. Lamar Jackson, number 4 at 121. Prescott, number 5 at 114.
Yeah, when you play Miami, that happens.
Matt Ryan, number 6 at 107.
He's had to carry that offense.
Brady, number 7 at 98.
How?
Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know his number 8?
Kyler Murray?
Yeah. Number 8, 97. And then Wentz, 95. Winston, 92. Minshew, 89.
I told you Minshew's the real deal.
Brissett, 87. Mariota, not even owned in my league. Top 12 right now. At 85. But that's bullshit. Mariota sucks. And I hate him. I hate Mariota.
So your logic, how many different points was Mariota from Kyler Murray?
12.
It's not a big difference.
Well, there's also, there's a 30-point difference between Wilson and Murray. There actually is a pretty big drop-off. Because, let's see, Jackson's number 4, Ryan is number 6, Jackson at 121, Ryan at 107, and then Prescott in the middle at 114.
Yeah. But
so it's the top 4 and kind of Dak and then everybody else.
But yeah, Kyler Murray's alright. Right now. I think he has a lot of potential, but this season he's a 20-something quarterback.
I'll give you 20-something, but I'll give you early 20s.
Well, okay, we'll see. We'll see how he does this week.
Right. Hey, I'd say he still has a chance to beat. Well, probably.
You
not.
said locked it in against the Falcons. They're 2.5.
Yeah.
You locked it in.
I locked it in.
It's not happening. I'm locking in the Falcons.
I will give Kyler a chance to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback now.
Top 5?
Yeah, unless Lamar completely shits the bed, which I wouldn't rule out.
I think his rushing ability keeps him in there no matter what.
Obviously, Kyler's not as good of a rusher, but Kyler can run the ball.
Yeah, he can, but he's not getting 90 yards rushing a game like Lamar. I think Lamar just had
Might I add, Kyler Murray is the number 8 fantasy quarterback with a third of the touchdowns that Russell Wilson has. He has, did I say rushing touchdowns?
No, you just said touchdowns.
Kyler Murray has 4 passing touchdowns this year.
That's it?
Yeah.
Does he have a lot of rushing touchdowns? Yeah, I know he has.
I think he has 2.
I thought he'd have more.
Yeah. I don't know.
Next week we will find out whose lock-in was correct. Definitely it was going to be mine.
Okay, we'll see.
And we might touch on a little basketball next week. Because the preseason is starting.
Do you think, should we separate episodes?
I have a football episode and a basketball episode.
Yeah, because I would feel bad getting Adam on here to talk about basketball and then just going on a tangent about football.
Yeah, I think we can start doing.
We need to have a dedicated basketball episode in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, well, the preseason has started and the real season starts in 13 days.
We got to get on that then.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of predictions for basketball now.
Sometime soon.
Maybe the next episode could be a basketball episode.
I agree with that.
We'll see.
After school one day.
Mm-hmm. But that was the Unnamed Podcast.
That was episode 6.
5 or 6.
Let's double check. We're getting up there. This is 6.
Episode 6.
Yeah.
Well, we skipped 2 weeks, and this is what you get. You get an extra long episode.
Yeah, because our last one was titled Week 2 Recap / Week 3 Predictions, or Week 3 Preview. So.
Wow.
And we're going into Week 6 now. Hey, that's all right, though. I think it was kind of nice to get away from just going week by week.
We were doing a lot of recaps, and I'm glad we just got to talk about football this time.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening, and I hope you join us next time on the Unnamed Podcast.
All right. Thank you very much.